So, welcome to the ultimate in-depth book review. So, if it's your first time here, we review books, right, about African dignity, financial education, and productivity. So, today, what are we talking about? We are still talking about Streamyard, a book written by Kwabena Obenako, and the headline goes like "How to Teach Yourself Money," right? So today I have two brilliant men here. We are going to make it quick. They are going to introduce themselves. Then we start with a few questions about the books, some quotes in the books, and then we will allow our viewers to come on the platform. We share the link out there so that everyone can add their suggestion or their views on this program. So can come with me and introduce Uncle Pa, then we go to Mr. Emma Ibamando.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. I can go ahead and introduce myself. So yeah, my name is Kwesi Kankam. Medium between Timmy Trini Befra, a friend of Kwesi Kankam. Yeah. Mr. Benda book no review that is Streamline, and just a little bit about myself again. I'm a data analyst, data scientist by profession. I love everything about Pan Africanism, and then also Meniso J Semishia Niamafa Sika Temon. So that is just a little about me. Yeah.
That's very quick. That's nice. So that we can go fast. Okay, Mr. Ibamando, hello. A quick introduction about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Amondo Bakantichi, and I'm a chemical engineer by academic training, and I'm also trained to be uh, a machine learning and artificial engineer. Yeah, so at the moment, I'm into farming, doing dark farming and maize farming. So
Okay.
that's me.
Hey, an engineer and you're doing farming. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Okay, so as we have already started the book review, we have talked about the first I think the first six chapters, and it was amazing. If you are here and it's your first time, you can just check our platforms, especially YouTube. You have to Communaric. You can see all the review that we have done so far. And today we are going to talk about the chapter 7 and chapter 6. So the chapter 7, we have some a little bit question concerning the book. Then our brothers here can come and Ibamando will help us to bring bring us for us to really understand what's going on, what Mr. Bin was really talking about. Right. So the title is called Money Equality. But this one talks about how even money doesn't know whether you're a male or female. But I'll start with the first question goes like financial independence versus wishful thinking. So in the book, Sabine wrote something like financial independence is important and we do not achieve it by wishful thinking. So this goes like how do you respond to critics who argues that not everyone is equal has equal opportunity to achieve financial independence. So this goes like especially the ladies. On say you can see a particular lady or just or one of the or train and a boy for train and destiny helper. Um or register or be successful. Um so Obi can be say critics we say come what's your response for this person?
Yeah, again. So or trying to go for.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think say maybe a be year free air say also here in culture no more.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, we grow up to come to realize that man a bit take care of a fee actual but yes a culture no, mostly from African standpoint near a culture no. And usually a ma you man be feel sɛ ɛsɛ ɔde ne responsibilities nyinaa ɛyɛ dɛn eto bear muscle, especially when it comes to the issue about money. But then, how I would respond to this is that, in our era, we promote gender equality, right? So prior to you getting married, especially who you're about, because question if wishful thinking here, yeah, the fine man standpoint now. Prior to you getting married, you are responsible for your financial independence, even if you are married too. Nti so making sure sɛ wo gyinabea no wankasa no woyɛ okay whether sɛ bɛrima ɛka ho anaasɛ bɛrima ɛnka ho. If you marry and then you want to join funds together and do other things, that is fine. But wishful thinking, say be a mewɔ hɔ, and this goes to all genders. Ebi a mewɔ hɔ meda na matwɛn sɛ bi a medi loto o. Obi otumi plane edi loto no ne tirim koraa plane nneɛma a ɔbɛyɛ nyinaa o. Meanwhile, the thing is not reality. So financial thinking not being a wishful thinking, or financial independence not being a wishful thinking, it means that you need to put in the effort. You need to learn about money, and you need to always do this by action. And I'll conclude by saying that nobody becomes financially independent by accident. Nobody becomes financially independent by accident. It is only through intentional actions.
Okay, nobody becomes financially independent by accident. That's amazing, profound statement. Mr. Ibamando, on the same question, we almost hear that someone is hoping. It's more like I have an uncle who has promised to maybe you know bring maybe help me travel or something like that. In terms like this, maybe a lady is hoping that because it's quite simple, like quite popular that you know every lady is looking for a already rich man, and they're hoping to get one day. In this case, what do you normally say about cases like this, or what's your suggestion? Yeah, yeah, you can hear. It's not going to happen today and tomorrow. And say one answer of the you have to take decision, bold decision, and take risks. That's very inspiring. Okay, so the role of education in wealth creation. This is very, very crucial something. And I quote from the book: most people have been conditioned to think looking rich is being rich. Okay, so another question for can come. So this is the book that Mr. Obenako wrote, and he's saying that most people have been conditioned to think looking rich is being rich. Okay, so do you believe that formal education is essential for creating wealth, or can be can practically life experience? So if someone is here and they are watching me, or they are watching this interview or this discussion, are you going to say that if the person, maybe person A and person B, are you going to say that maybe because this person had this particular formal education like that, that means it maybe had some degrees, and the person B, maybe he had been doing some buja buja as we used to call. Can you determine that okay, because in our setting, because the first person has that kind of knowledge is going to be more successful than the other who is just around the place, not you see them not going anywhere. Okay.
Uh, yeah, so I think when it comes to financial knowledge or financial independence, school ehia deɛ but wokɔ school ɛno nkyerɛ sɛ wobɛdi yie financially. Maybe the school one way or the other might not let you have like abject poverty. See, be ohia buburo kra, just say unni be cra no. It be a school no with your certificate. Maybe you be near maybe but even right now in our world, a lot of people are having even their PhDs. Again, I'm not saying PhDs are not good, but omunye adwuma and in near ɔno nso ankɔ school koraa no a ɔno yɛ bodwabodwa na ɔhu sika anim every day ebi a wɔkɔ school a wobɛhu sika anim I mean wokɔ school a monthly salary na ebi a wo depend. So formal education, yes, it helps if you have formal education. For example, na sɛ ebi a ne obi kɔyɛ contractor, na sɛ woyɛ entrepreneur koraa na wotumi kenkan te contract na sɛ ɛno koraa mpo no wankɔ school a wotumi nya obi a ɔtrust na ɔgye ne di a ɔno akɔ school ɔno nso tumi kenkan ɛyɛ den ɛma wo ehu sɛnea contract ne ɛyɛ no ɛteɛ. But in terms of creating wealth per se, it's not necessarily school. You need to understand the culture that you are coming from, number one, and then yeah idea provide this service deliver product be a culture no ɛne your geographical location ɛyɛ adeɛ a wɔyɛ dɛ wɔpɛ. Wohwɛ Ghana for example a yɛwɔ nipa bebree wɔ hɔ a sɛbio ɔkɔ school koraa na school na nhyɛ da nkɔ akyire obi koraa nso wɔ ha wankɔ school koraa. But when we are talking about the rich people or the wealthy people in Ghana, that is we look at these people. Yɛhu nipa bebree te sɛ bia yɛn papa despite mo ebi koraa ɔkɔ school ni kakra bɔ wankɔ akyire te sɛ nea nipa bebree ayɛ den akɔ, but they were still able to make wealth. The formal education deɛ ne deɛ ultimate school but it doesn't necessarily translate to the fact that it's going to make you wealthy. It might save you from abject poverty if you're able to get a job, but there's no job that will pay you so much for you to become wealthy. So there's no salary that will be giving you so much to become wealthy unless it be a one nipa no owia anaasɛ number two ebi adwuma no yɛ ni tua ne ka kɛseɛ paa otimi de yɛ de otimi de daadaa ne ho. But no crown. The question is, if that person loses the job, what would she or what would he do? So it's financial and independence and wealth creation. Formal education does not necessarily play any key role. Formal education, it's making kind thing to establish networks, but it doesn't translate directly into wealth creation.
So that means even though if you have the formal education, you have to still get yourself some education that you won't get it in the classroom. So how are you going to get this education? I'm a student, or I'm done with school and I have realized that I don't have this education. What what are the steps that I can go through? Should I go and study a finance course again, or what's the practical way that I can, and the fastest way that I can get that education? Well,
We have if you could take the question again.
okay, Okay, so um, so can you take that question so that
Yeah,
we wait for yeah, sure.
sure, sure,
So I
sure.
just want to know, just like I'm a student or I've completed SHS, right? And my dream is say, okay, I'm planning to go into the business world or maybe specific case now no and chechem no. And I think say in the book, so the now Mr. Being come one them let's say um you it's not necessarily right. Say me person me go school. See I'm someone catch me say meet me anya some I can do it without the school, right? Okay. Ibamando is here. So let me just throw the question to him right away. So I was saying that now I'm done with SHS, right? And I want to become worthy. See, and Yamayan who say the education is
Okay.
not enough, right? Maybe how to read, how to write. The SHS have given me that education already. So now no. How can I get the information or the skills to pursue entrepreneurship if I want to get or if I want to get wealthy? Now you are saying that the school is not necessarily or it's not the main tool for me to, or the main institution for me to get wealthy. So what are the system that I can go through to become who I want to become as a wealthy person?
Okay. So can I answer?
Yeah, yeah, you are here. Like we can hear you.
All right. So I think the point is that no, we are not against education. We are talking about the conclusion that people who go to school are automatically rich or they are guaranteed richness. But what happens is that that is not enough. That's what we are saying is not enough. So beyond the schooling, beyond the attainment of the degree for employment and for status in society, what you need is education. And the education you need, one is that you need education about yourself, and that's why knowledge about your history, African history, is really very important. It exposes you to the glories of Africans, our ancestors. And two, once you have established clearly what your objective is, you want to be a wealthy, powerful, influential person in future, in society, then you need to read books on finance, on success, on investment. But most importantly, you look for content that are within the culture where you come from. In our case, you look at the context of Ghana of or Africa. You make an investment into listening to well curated audio and videos that are targeted at supporting you achieving this goal.
Yeah, we are
So
listening.
whilst we are saying that school the wealthy person that you want to become, what you go in for education, and education goes beyond schooling, what they call formal schooling. Education goes beyond that. Otherwise, people who have never stepped in classroom will never have become very rich. We have seen reference despite, but we know despite and the many other people who have not had a lot of schooling, who are who are part of the top 1 5% of the wealthy people in Ghana here.
So, thank you very much for showing us the way. Like we have to listen to people who are doing it, who are making it, and I think that was very insightful. Okay, so can come. I'm coming back. I think. Okay. So, you mentioned of knowing our history. Can you give us any book on our history that maybe if someone is watching us right now, they can just go and maybe get to know some of the books that they can read on our history.
Okay, so for general history about Africa, your books by um, Ivan van Satima. That is, they came before Columbus. One of the books are also read African history. One of the
Diop.
yeah, one of the books are opese we don't read. And obi to say check and diop. We are medium mudima to two in check and diop. A lot of like books. I can't even mention just one specific book, but he has a lot of those materials. And then but check and diop and be na French, but my translate here, but your friend is in English. And I Molefe Asante. Molife Asante. I'll put all of them, their names in the chat. The reason why I'm not mentioning specific books for these other authors near because um Ivan Van Satima there, and I don't know, me who is all there not start here. Among how great our people were as Africans. Now if you free Nyama Boom, the Chick Antadiop, Molife Asante mo, Chancellor Williams, Chancellor Williams, Chancellor Williams, Omunina Ewo books are they are Pan-Africanist, so they write it in an unbiased context and then they write it as it's supposed to be. So those are some of the authors and book that you may want to start with. I'll put them in the chat, and then and I say comment section. That's will be pebia. Nobitimi akwa search. You can get the PDF version. They are online. You can always read those books as a baseline.
Okay. Okay. So, we're waiting for them in the comment section. Thank you very much. Um, okay. So the next thing that we are going to talk about is and I quote from the book Jemiad, Streamline rather. Money is a product of economic productivity. So, what's your thought on the reliance of faith-based approach to financial success? Okay, so this one is much talking about. Okay, so we have people that they have been they have been told that they should believe in something, and they will they should rely on faith when it comes to financial success. So what's your thoughts on that, Mr. Wanda? So can I maybe can I believe that maybe I can get money, or I have faith, or maybe I've contributed something and wait to be financially free or financially success?
Uh, one way or the other, majority of us subscribe to one of the religious faith. Uh, some of us are Christians, some are Muslims, some are traditionalists, some don't belong anywhere, and but they believe in spirituality. The fact that they are not religious does not mean they don't believe in spirituality. So the point has to be made strongly that if you are banging all your hopes on miracles because you have faith in God, then I'm sorry, it won't happen. Um, People are always talking about miracle money. People are always talking about miracles and all that. So what happens is that uh, at the time that the precious time they have for productive activities, they are using it to sit in church. They are using it to sit in prayer camps. They are they are doing all sort of, in quote, religious things that are supposed to convince God to bless them. People say when you tithe, then a lot of your blessing, the windows of heaven will open, and then the blessings of God will come upon you until there's no need for you asking. But yes, you tithe is a is you are contributing to the sustainability and growth of whatever religious inclinations you have. But that in itself is not enough if you don't engage in any productive economic activity that brings in money on a regular basis. So those um, thought miracle that I don't understand how you plant one maize seed and you water it, you give it all the nutrients and everything it needs, get just one maize, but you get several. But if we never till the land, if we never plant the seed, we never sow the seed, if we do not carry out proper agriculture management, carry out proper, yes, management, will not be guaranteed that we will make a harvest. Seed are we sowing on what kind of, and how are we even nurturing the germinated seed? A lot of also happen. A management period where you make sure that everything that's supposed to be done for the good health of the plant, and in this case, for your finances to be sound, you do. And then there's the harvest period. Even when the harvest comes and you refuse to go and harvest, someone will come and take your harvest, even though even though God has blessed you with the abundance of harvest. But once you do not go to pluck and take it, it will not be yours. So it takes work. You need to be more focused and invested in your work whilst you are confident that the supreme being, the infinite power, the universe, or God, whatever you ascribe to, who gave you life and existence, will make sure that he plays his part. Play your part and God will play his part. That is the bargain. Each of us would have to play our roles and play them very, very well. And the God is always faithful. It is us who relax in laziness and in illusions for miracles to come our way.
Okay, do your part, and God will also do it. That was very profound statement. Okay, okay. So let's move on. Another quote from the same book, Shimyard, chapter 7, that's money equality. Okay, so it talks about networking and financial growth. And I quote from the book: our people hardly link their financial success with their network. How important do you think networking is compared to hard work in achieving financial success? So can come say you can say be a networking you can financial success networking blue ben a play so be the and also be what the phone. What's your network play?
Okay. Yeah. Once I can for ebu baby ɔmo sɛ nam dua so na ahoma yɛ den ehunu soro anaa eduru soro. So wofa financial success na ɛyɛ adeɛ a ɛyɛ process. Okay. Financial success is a process. Process no ɛyɛ adeɛ a wo nko ara wontumi nyɛ dɛ ɛnyɛ. Nti networking ne sɛ oh minim wei, wei nso nim wei. Because sɛ minim wei no nti no ɔno nso akɔnɛte me ama wei ama adeɛ no a mepɛ no mayɛ dɛn manya. So wate aseɛ. Nti ɛba financial success na usually ɔmo a ɔmo bɛn a ɔmo nea ɔmo yɛ wo nso pɛ sɛ woyɛ bi a you shouldn't look further. So ɔmo wɔ adwene pa a ɔmo bɛyɛ dɛn ɔmo bɛkyerɛ wo. So your network actually determines your net worth. Ɛyɛ a ɔmo ka sɛ say your network determines your net worth. Net worth. Not because the way nya obi a undi you, but For example, yeah, papa despite their example, because always mostly if you look at other books, they use people that we don't even know or people who are not Africans. But yeah, question, yeah, papa despite. Look at his network. On your your network is your friends are part of the network. Or business mates are part of the network. On down for now for a part of the network. Now down for ne Dr. Ns upon. Look at the network or circle for all these big guys, East Lincoln Executive Club, it's an entire network. We make us a then some for, but we easily forget about the processes that they went through to get to to get to that stage. And every person on that, team, on that executive club, all of them have like they have a value to offer. The network na yɛreka ne yɛ sɛ bi anamfoɔ wonim wei nim wei nim wei ɔbɛkɔnɛte wakɔ ha wohia wei a wei na ɛde wobɛkɔ a wei na ɛbɛhyɛ wo nsa sɛ kɔ na akɔyɛ sei kɔ na akɔyɛ sei na ɛno na yɛn no ɛtɔ da bi a obi yɛ biribi a we don't show appreciation doesn't mean that give the person money, but anytime that you get opportunity like we are doing here, we do to Mr. Bean, we say that, oh, legend yɛnhyia wo a ɛnyɛ sɛ bi a ɔyɛ nyame anaasɛ yɛnhyia na nka yɛbɛwo, but yɛhyia no he becoming part of our network, okay, we may not have financial freedom yet, and I say be a sikana epininya, but because we are part of his network, the information that he shares with us about finance and life as a whole, no, senanke the 50 years ne be do sa level na, because one who experience no train, at yeah, but maybe 5 years, so we have 45 years to even explore further and achieve what he achieved, right? Or realize what he has achieved within a short period of time. I'm not saying it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be hard. But then through that networking, you get some information be a guy there. So networking in here because so network no adwen pa e ma wo kwa chire o sikasem we no abra bo nyina o network ni so nye papa de bi o meka chiro se o yenko ba yenko bro yenko ne ma ne yenko chile ne that kind of unproductive ventures, no. Yep.
Okay. I think that let me based on what's your submission, I'm just another question. I'm born on that sometimes you don't choose the environment that you live in, right? So imagine you are born in the ghetto, right? Definitely those that you get to know, no, they are all ghetto, right? So in this case, what are you advising that particular kid? Say that's even though Caribbean sebi you any parent cry is living life yeah, it's not good. And that the network is more like that's the environment that he find himself. And in this case, advice when not money panel
Wow.
because I quite have that similar experience, right?
Mhm.
So advice when not
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Yafe, a valid point now I'm making. We grew up. It might not necessarily be a ghetto, right? But then, if I get on example, once a nipa biara no, you should have a sense of purpose and sense of responsibility. So, and no, and found the baby a free, but once a nipa naturally wɔ hɔ a adeɛ bi a woyɛ biara asɛ asomdue mmata ho no. So wa womfili okay, this is meti get to be a me a many say hɔ na mete no nneɛma bi wɔ ha yɛyɛ a yɛmfili okay, that is sense of responsibility, so you desire to do better. What I say, and then sense of purpose. Who was I say me kra no. Then I me ba wiase a me ba be. Then I miss meet me ayama wiase ma for nya me ho mfaso. You may be going to school. Maybe you may be coming from a very toxic environment. You're there, now you're there free. But a sense of purpose, no, will transition you to other places. You may not be there physically, but you get access to what information. Nti ni nyina gyina how hungry you are. Once a first point of contact, I need you share the from all your parents. And chances are high, say, near or no minimum about money, and no more better. Menka some any new. But then if you look at our era, sometimes not everything that they say is correct. In China, individual, you have to be hungry. sɛ wofa phone na sɛ wobɛkɔ TikTok a ɛno no ɛnyɛ me na mɛka kyerɛw sɛ ɛnkɔ TikTok ɛnkɔhwɛ mmaa a ɔmowoso ɔmo ho, na mmom ɛberɛ bi du a kɔ Facebook na kɔsua biribi about money, kɔ YouTube na kɔsua biribi about money. So the person like regardless of where you are coming from no, ɛsɛ sɛ wonya that desire hwɛ wo ho abrabɔ no a wɔ mu no wopɛ ɛdɛn na mɛyɛ foforɔ. Sɛ mɛyɛ biribi foforɔ deɛ a na ɛpa akyerɛ sɛ nneɛma dada no a menim, the mind that created my environment, the mind that created my situation no, mentumi nsa nnwusu saa adwene na ɛmfight. So I will need to acquire new knowledge, and as a matter of fact a more productive one. Nti ɛno no gyina nipa no so. You have to have that desire. Sɛ situation a wokɔ mu na ɛnyɛ a wonim, because you know yourself better than everyone. Yeah.
So, oh yeah, branch, oh yeah, about you have no excuse. We will say, and I am if you perform, let's say, with the help of internet, you don't have to even say that, because information is what you need to change your life, and we are in the information age. With the help of the internet, YouTube and Facebook, depends on who you are following and the people that you are giving your time to. If they are sharing something valuable, it will reflect in your life. And if they are sharing something demeaning, it will also reflect in your life. Thank you very much, Kankam, for that submission. So our next one is going to be the myth of perfect job, right? So Legend quotes in the book that they believe there is a job somewhere that will make them rich. This goes to say that, do you think about the idea that a perfect job can be a trap for financial independency, right? So what we are trying to say is that on the especially we on the in our setting now, it's not like everyone wants a job, right? Because we know that immediately when you get a job, we will be rich. But do we have a perfect job? Like, can someone be working with a particular company and the person will be very, very wealthy, right? Or can be financially free? If that one.
Okay. Yeah. So let's look at those who have come before us, and they have taken that route of looking for a job and taking all the supposed fast salaries, and see how many of these have become financially wealthy, or have become financially independent, or are free of anybody's control, meaning that they are in charge of their own time, in charge of what they wear, in charge of what they eat, in charge of what they buy, in charge of what they drive, in charge of where they live. And you tell me that most of these people, their life is being controlled by their employer. So who do we say is a financially independent or financially free person? Someone who is in charge or in control of everything about them. They're in charge of their finances, they're in charge of the money that comes to them, in charge of their investment, and in charge of their time. They can travel and come as at when they want, they sleep when they want, and then wake up when they want. Even while they are sleeping, they are making money. So for me, from my standpoint, these people who are pursuing job will never become financially free. They will not fulfill a higher purpose of they will not fulfill their own calling, impact, influence, and remember that each and every one of us is a spiritual being, And we have just taken this human form to have an earthly experience. And spirit is full of expansion and expression. And that's why when people stay in a particular environment for a very long time, they become what do you call it? They become fed up, like everything. Because they are caged, but they wish they could do more than what the environment is allowing them to do. And they have taken up the job, they have signed a contract, and they are supposed to deliver something deliverables within a certain time frame. And this affect their family life. So for me, the point to go is to go for work. Don't go for a job. In Ghana, there is a lot of work to be done, even while there are limited jobs for all of us. And when you are doing your own work, it might not be beautiful, but a friend of mine told me that engineers have rough palms but smooth bank accounts. So when you are doing your own work, you have to do dirty things. It's not about wearing suit and tie. It's not about sitting in an air conditioned environment, but it's about putting your hand to the wheel and getting things done, providing a service, providing a product at a rate. So financial freedom is a person who is endowed with financial knowledge, and oftentimes the most of them are business owners because he's at the top of the pyramid and his managers, supervisors, and all the workers are down there. You who is taking 5,000 Ghana cedis and you are just a general secretary or whatever, look at the number of people who are up above you, the privileges that they are getting, the salary that they are getting. And imagine how much the owner has got to now decide that each of you, this is how much you will get. If someone is paying 5,000 in a year, that is 60,000 Ghana cedis. And let's say you are the leader of the pyramid. If he pays the general manager 500,000 Ghana cedis, how much has he made in profit to be able to pay everybody the benefits, the privileges, the training that they provide, the travel opportunities that they give, the health insurance that they give before they come to you? So if it is position of power and influence, I'll prefer the position of the entrepreneur. It is not going to be beautiful in the early days. You are going to be misunderstood and all that. You are going to be lonely and alone a lot of the times. You are going to not we are not going to watch Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool, Barcelona matches. We are going to have to deny ourselves some, in quote, pleasures. But once we do not seek instant gratification and we peg it again, we are sure to arrive. Another pressure will come from a lot of people, including the immediate family. So I'm all for entrepreneurship. I'm all for ownership. I'm all for power and influence. I don't subscribe to job. Yeah, job will give you immediately a source of income, but that source of income should be the starting point. But if you do not have, what do you call it, the adequate financial knowledge and skill, you are not going to be able to know how to manage that money that comes, regardless of how much you are paid as a monthly salary. Yeah, so we have this what I say for now.
Okay. That that. So as he said, job can be for the start. So that's from there you build your own stuff, you build your own stream of income using that job so that when you retire, you are not going to rely on anyone. You are going to rely on your own businesses or investments to take care of you. Okay, thank you for that insightful explanation. So, if you did join us, we are discussing about Streamline. Streamline rather. So Streamline, how to teach yourself money, mainly talking about financial education. And this book was written by Kwabena Obendako. Um, you just have to search for his name on YouTube, Facebook, and you can follow him. He's doing an amazing job, and his books are amazing. And today we are reviewing one of them, which is Streamline: How to Teach Yourself Money. So the next chapter is all about family and marriages, but I'm just going to talk about just two or one question. Then think if we have audience who want to come and ask question or contribute, we will um we will give them the platform. Okay, so in the book he says something like you create problems when you refuse to grow together. So this one is talking about family, right? So maybe if you have a partner or something, especially in knowledge. Okay, so I want to ask this question that Kankam, is it necessary to maybe even if you're looking for a partner, is it necessary to look at the knowledge level that she has about herself or about certain things, or it doesn't really matter, right? Yeah, I want
Hmm.
to really know this.
Yeah, it's very important to pay attention to that. Once a na book no more can say you create problems when you refuse to grow together, especially in knowledge. Chapter 8, you know.
So,
The entire here say say oko A no oko B all the time, or no oko B now oko A all the time. It means there's nowhere you guys meet at some point. You do not find any common ground. And near money here, and is more thinking I like especially in the knowledge level about maybe finance, about marriages, about relationship itself. Ɛma mo dream boom a content and mo make decisions so a content. I'm not married nti mentimi nka nkwa aware side no, but I'm believing that in most marriages ebi enye trust issue bi obi akofo bi echi that kind of thing. Usually the bu genesis of it ni free sikasɛm mu. But sɛ mo nyinaa mo dream pɛ na mo nim dey about sika, uh, like Ekon Kaya, it really helps the relationship and sometimes even the marriage in the contents of the book. And my near the age 90, my own shit. Yeah, one is a young guy, young lady, be our boyfriend or fiancé. I have a fiancé. Subconsciously, while we were friends, I would always look at her. I mean, evaluate her knowledge about money and life itself. And I'm meaning someone who's not yes, sir. And what convinced me to move from being like her being my girlfriend to a fiancé was because I was certain that this person has this sort of like knowledge about life and then finance also. And yet I have offended and yet degrees a kutano and ye juma oye. But sir, mo mmienu no mobɛtumi adwene abom na mo nimdeɛ about the core principles of life and the most important the finance, because scanning you are, I'm telling you Yafe, the relationship and the marriage ɛnyɛ dɛ wobɛware koraa sɛ wode sika na ɛyɛ dɛ ɛware. I'm not saying you are breaking the bank, but ɛhia sɛ mo mmienu no mo nimdeɛ about life ɛne sikasɛm. Sɛ ɛnyɛ pɛ koraa no a, one is well endowed when it comes to that, and the other is also willing to learn, and then collectively you are also willing to correct each other and then also learn together and grow in the areas of life, and then also most importantly finance.
in the areas of life and finance. So the beauty is not enough, right? The
Yeah,
beauty is not enough.
the beauty is not enough
Someone
at all.
will be like kind of so would you 35 we realize that I shut it down. So if the engine in you now need you beauty in there is just temporary or something. Okay, thank you very much, Kakam. Okay, so as you're wrapping up, I'll just let um you say your last words, and then Mr. Kankam and Mr. Mamando will also say his last word. The chapter 8 talks much about, family, marriage, and all this stuff. That's why I really want to go in depth, asking a lot of questions about that. But I hope the one that we asked was enough. And that's all about this section. Um, Streamline, how to teach yourself money. The book was written by Kwame Binako. He's an author, engineer, and entrepreneur who has written about 8 books after maybe Mr. Kankam has say his last word. I'll maybe share my screen to show you his channel, show you some of his books and how you can get them. Then you let people come in if we have any guests, then we can conclude. Kankam, what's your last word on these 2 chapters?
Okay, so my last word. But before I say my last word, pardon me, I think I shared YouTube, but let me say my share the right one. If not, will be person sharing about well here, but I think the person should have the Facebook one. Okay, so my last words. I would say that financial freedom is based on evidence. And if it is evidence, it means that we are talking about data and then reproducibility over here. So financial evidence, financial freedom is based on evidence, data, and then reproducibility. Nti na mepa kyerɛ ne sɛ evidence no wɔn hu sɛ adeɛ wei na woyɛ no obi nye bi da koraa na wonim sɛ adeɛ wei no with the amount with the right information that I have and then the data that I've gathered, I'll be able to what make it meaningful to my society. And the more it is meaningful and relevant to them, right, the more people patronize it. So the more people patronize it, the more people are patronizing it, the more you keep what reproducing it, right? Is a never ending cycle. The more you keep reproducing it. But the genesis of it, they say, "Who nipan? So ye den? You be our so be there. One go school cry, utie radio, and fan to be a politics. Fa to baabi a yɛka nneɛma a ɛbɛyɛ den ɛbɛsesa w'abrabɔ ɛnyɛ 24/7 sɛ wode kɔto baabi a ɛno ntɛm bi a wotie live worship. I'm not saying live worship is bad, but listen to things that will make you excel in the area that you want to go. Tie nneɛma, sua nneɛma a adwuma no a wopɛ sɛ woyɛ no, right? Ɛbɛma woayɛ den anyini wɔ saa adwuma no, ɛbɛma woayɛ den expert wɔ saa adwuma no mu. If I want to become a pharmacist, na sɛ de bia mesɔre na sɛ mekɔ baabi a yɛyɛ den ebi a ɛhɔ yɛyɛ ngo wɔ hɔ a pharmacy na mpɛ sɛ meyɛ no ahwɛ a mɛka akyire ba mesɔre na sɛ de bia me read books about pharmacy mekɔ pharmacy obi a obi na mekɔbisa no information sɛ woyɛ ne sɛn woyɛ ne sɛn woyɛ ne sɛn sɛnea Mr. Obinna ako yɛ no ɛne Mr. Charles moyɛ about life and then businesses on their programs no ɛno bi ne yɛpɛ sɛ yɛ nti ne yɛkɔ hɔ a yɛkɔyɛ den yɛkɔ tie on and then they have the evidence, they have the data, and because of that and we can also reproduce it in our own way and also get that financial freedom that we want.
Okay, that was a great submission. We have to keep on learning to. Right. So if you are here, you can join us. I'll share the link in the YouTube link description. You can just comment section rather. You can join us. But before that, Mr. Ibamando, your last word on the chapter 1 and chapter 2, chapter 2, chapter 7 and 8. The 8 was a little bit, about marriage, and I can see that, we don't have much experience. So I think we answered one question on it, and so your conclusion on this. But if you are watching us, you can join us on this platform. Just I've shared the link there so you can come on this platform and also share your ideas, what you have learned, any addition or subtraction or suggestion. The platform is yours.
Hey, Obaya Mama Babu.
have is our responsibility, is a personal responsibility to actualize that vision. We should recognize that it's not going to take one day to get there. It's not going to take 1 year. It probably will not take 5, 10 years. It might take 15 years. But once we keep at it, we will surely arrive. And first and foremost, every other person is going to leave you. The only person who will not leave you is you. So always look up to yourself for the help that you seek because you are that help. And we should recognize that before we can attain financial freedom, we need to be educated financially, and that will give us financial knowledge and it will lead us to financial intelligence. And an application of the financial knowledge and skills that we have acquired, the intelligence, will give us financial freedom. And then we should recognize that every day that finances is the bedrock, is at the center of everything, including marriage, including family life, including influence, power, and control. The reason why African countries we keep being beggars is because some other people.
Okay,
Unfortunately,
okay,
yeah, I
okay,
think
okay.
he got
So
kicked
I
out.
think, yeah, okay, the network. But we have SOS entrepreneur here, so maybe he's going to talk about maybe what we just discussed. I heard that he said that he
But
was
what you mean,
sleeping,
ka?
but
Pacho Ayeti,
Hello.
yeah, Pacho Ayeti.
Main tihwe ye asabeni.
Oh, Yeti Okaso, Mr. Charles. Yeah, Yeti.
hello,
Yeti.
what's wrong? That's wrong. Okay.
Yeti.
But what you?
Yes.
Me timonka. Okay,
Oh,
ani asam. Okay, me like say me kasa see because someone timin ka but me kasa.
okay.
Ebusuafo ya da wonyina ase. Boss you afe, ya me nhyira o. Chairman kankan ya da ase. Na senior ope mu no so a wabota na jaw. On ya wasi wa hold wa share nso no. Ade ba kwa me pese me kan se dwumadie na mafa asi moni so no ɛyɛ dwumadie bi a emu odu yie ɛnyɛ ade ketewa ana mafa no twesenten bɛba ebeduru baabi no abambuo kakra bɛba ebeduru baabi no wobɛyɛ expect sɛ wobɛnya resource no immediately ebeduru baabi no deɛ wo ne bɛhyɛ aseɛ koraa no woanhwɛ koraa na afei na ɛnteaseɛ akɔyɛ yi but sɛ mode mo botaeɛ no a mode si mo ani so sɛ moyɛ no mohyɛ mo kena na mo focus on it na mogye di sɛ ɛkwan na moasi so sɛ moyɛ no biribi biara ani hɔ a ɛbɛtumi ambɛki mu down whatever bia nso a ɛyɛ support anaasɛ biribia nso a mobɛhia bia nso no sɛdeɛ sos yɛhyɛ ase a moboaeɛ no ɛwɔ kwanyira mu no ɛnso so no yɛwɔ ha yɛn nyinaa yɛ one family yɛn nyinaa ɛyɛ one accord anaasɛ one focus ɛna yɛyɛ dɛ yɛyɛ sɛdeɛ bɛyɛ yɛbɛtumi ama Ghana yɛ dɛ akɔ soɔ nti bi a obi biara yɛ biara no sɛdeɛ bɛyɛ a Ghana bɛkɔ so nti ɛna yɛn nyinaa yɛhyia mu nti no yɛn nso so yɛwɔ ha a yɛbɛbɛ dɛ yɛbɛ support nti senior kankam ne bɔsoyafɛ ɛyɛ me yasɛ menti mo nka ɛna mɛntimi nso ama ntɛm metraa yɛ na deɛ boss de maa me na ɛsɛ sɛ ɛnyɛ no na na ɔde maa me nti de mu adeɛ nti okay but next time wɔ hɔ the best is yet to come nti no yɛtaa why yɛtaa mɔkyi ma mo ma the twist and turn no mbreki mu ma mo ma the twist and turn mbreki mu ɛyi paa I know what I'm saying but mommotɔ nkɔ so na monya focus no sɛ mobɛyɛ dɛ mobɛyɛ na ɛno nso so no nkonimdie yɛ ɛnyina yɛ dɛ ɛnyina ma hɔ nyinaa ɛma ɔman Ghana so why meyɛ so emotion because mewɔ adwuma mu nti no kakra bi na mawia mo but mɛta akyirɛ saa ɛtie no YouTube no
Okay.
sɛ because mente no normal no mente sɛ why meda mo
Gotcha.
ase.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And that's it. Thank you. All right,
Okay,
Mr. Yafi.
so
Back to you.
I, I think Romando be conclude na
Yeah.
uh, yeah, almost 1 hour. So
Yeah, Mr. Ibamando. Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
you can conclude and
Thinks he's on, but if he's talking, we cannot hear him.
Oh, just yeah, and I would say I'm grateful to Brother Charles for the words of encouragement.
Oh,
We thank him very much, and we know that we can always. Yeah, can you guys hear me?
yeah, yeah, we can hear you, but you keep dropping. But right now, we can hear you.
yeah, we can
Yeah, so I was just thanking
yeah we
Brother
can hear
Charles
you.
for his support. We'll keep looking forward to him and
Okay,
looking forward to a lot more people joining us as we progress with this journey. We have just got started, and as he himself said, the best is yet to come. So I want to thank everybody who has been able to join us, those who sent in their comments, and those who for one or the other reason couldn't join us. Um, we know we shall one day we shall all get to be on the platform.
Sure.
So I thank you.
okay, okay. So before we close, I want to do a quick demo on how you can get to maybe uh, get some of the book and how you can maybe reach out to something. Yeah, so very quick one. I think we've been 2 minutes. I'll finish. But some may what go there.
Yes. Yeah.
Hello? Okay. Okay. So this is our being page, right? So just search for the name of Ben.com. The books need be such any of the months we're gonna have be also the MV shop, right? MV shop. Uh-huh. See, mm, this is ne ne books na. They has over click link you and as over click link we so. And over Amazon Kindle. No, that means it be open physical, like open uh, e Amazon Kindle. Yeah, the books ni any, but particularly the winning review. But uh, collectively 8 books, right? Okay, so you can also reach out to him, and I think send a number so on the platform, so can reach out to him by this number. Okay, so I think that's all, and thank everyone for joining the platform. We really appreciate your time, and um, see you next week by this time, and have a nice day.
All right. Sure. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, do be biasi. That's an Abishia. Bye bye.
Sure, sure. Maybe sure. Bye.
Next time you buy na bomb pie why? Ban come bomb pie am I?
I was taking it. Yeah, from